but he said the progress of science in turn may lead us, the scientists, to look again into the narrative of our evolutionary ancestry. We don't have the same ancestry. We don't. You don't have the traits that we have. From Adam and Eve, we have the pluripotent cells, which is the one that was newly discovered, the multipotent cells, and the unipotent cells. All right? And that's what was used to make the woman. So, black woman, before you run your mouth about how beautiful you look and being a god, which you're not, or all the stuff about you that's specific or exclusive, all right, or unique compared to other women. But y'all need to know that and stop wearing wig or coloring your hair or hiding your natural hair with a horse hair or Edomite. Black woman, you are not a god. Get that nonsense, that garbage out of your mind. You are not a god. The man was not made from you. You are made from the man. We're going to touch on that in 1 Corinthians. All right? Get that garbage out of your mind. You are not a god on earth. You are not a goddess. There's no scripture that said the woman or Israelite woman is a goddess. But we can show you scriptures that say the man is a god. We already read those. All right? So get that out of your mind. You will be all right. Once you get that out of your mind and humble yourself before your black men, not the Pookie and Ray Ray selling drugs in the corner or sleeping around or rapping drill music and all that nonsense. No, we're not talking about it. That's not a God. We're talking about a righteous man who keeps God's commandments, who meditates in these laws day and night. That's a God in the making. That's a God in the making. All right? You need to get the garbage out of your mind, humble yourself, remove feminism from your system, from all the cells of your body, all the tissues and organs and system of your body, and you're going to be all right. Believe, even if you don't believe me, believe it because the scriptures say that. We're going to touch on all that. All of that. You're going to be okay. You will make it into the kingdom. But when you keep applying that feminist policy, mindset, ideology, you're done. You are done. When Christ returns, you are done. You have time to repent if you're watching this class right now. All right? Genesis chapter 2, start from verse 21. Let's go into the woman being made out of the man and how she was made.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 21.
Read.
And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam.
So pay attention to this. Remember, Adam was a Lord, a God on earth. So the Most High God, the God of gods himself, did what? Caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And Adam slept. Deep sleep. All right? Keep going.
And he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof.
See that? So he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh. Now, in medicine today, those who've been through surgery know what I'm talking about. Before every, not every surgery, but minor surgeries, they don't have to be. Before every major surgery, what does a doctor always do? They put you to sleep. So the medical field is emulating what God did in Genesis chapter 2. All right? That's exactly where they got the concept from. Using anesthesia. All right? That's the only way you can have influence on a man's body or a woman's body. You have to put them into deep sleep. That's what God did here. But in the midst of that, what did he do? He took one of Adam's ribs and closed up the flesh thereof. Right? Read verse 22.
And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman.
Made he a what?
A woman.
From that rib he made a woman. Go on.
And brought her unto the man.
And brought her unto the man. We're going to go into this in detail. Now, he says in verse 21, he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. That's what surgeons do when they sew up the skin back. With God, you don't have to do any sewing. You just close it up. It looks smooth. All right? Now, let's go into the first link that I sent. The first link, all right? Because he said a rib was taken. Because you see people today talking about missing rib. Oh, men have missing rib, this and that, and they thought that's a lie. That is a lie. The Lord took a rib literally. He did take a rib literally. How do we know? Jump down to verse 23.
Adam said, this is now bone of my bones.
Bone of my bone. That's his rib, from his rib. The bone of the rib. Go on.
And flesh of my flesh.
That flesh that was made from the dust of the earth. The woman got it from the man. All right. All that component the woman has came from the man. Now, let's read something about the rib. Because he's going to make you wonder, why? How is it that even in literal form, the man or male and female still have the same amount of rib? When you look at skeleton, it's the same. The same amount of ribs. There's something special, something phenomenal about that bone rib. All right? Read most bones.
Abstract. Most bones in mammals display a limited capacity for natural large-scale repair.
So most bones in our body, he said they display a limited, meaning for them to regenerate or repair or regrow is limited. All right, you're still going to see all that fracture, all that crack, all the stuff. It may not really even grow. Okay? In a large-scale repair, they have a limited capacity. Go on.
The ribs are a notable exception.
See that? You say what?
The ribs are a notable exception.
The ribs are a notable exception. Go on.
Yet the source of their remarkable...
Yet what?
The source of their remarkable...
Source of their remarkable...
regenerative ability remains unknown.
It remains unknown. Remains unknown. That's what the scientists have researched and found out. They can understand every other bone, but that rib, they can't understand how. There's something the Lord made special and specific about it. All right? Now scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. I'm not going to go into all this because it's scientific words. It's going to mess people's mind up. Fractures.
Fractures to major bones often heal slowly and incompletely.
Or incompletely. Go on.
Especially in older people.
Go on.
And large bone injuries do not repair naturally.
Go on.
By comparison.
So he said does not repair naturally. That means they have to go through surgery. Sometimes that's why they have rods and those irons around the bones to keep it just in place. All right, to see if it's going to help it heal up 4 to 6 weeks, 8 months, 2 months, depending. Go on.
By comparison.
By comparison of the rib to the other bones in your body. Go on.
Rib bones show an unusual capacity to regrow and repair themselves even when a large portion is damaged.
See that? See that? That's phenomenal. Something the scientists cannot understand. That's something the common mind cannot understand. The Lord used the rib of a man to make a woman. Why? What's so specific about the rib? What's another thing that's very specific about that rib? All right, you can close this. Get me the next link. All right, scroll down a little bit. It says stop. It says Adam's ribs and the origin of stem cells. So stop. No. Go up a little bit. Go up. Stop. The recent discovery.
The recent discovery of stem cells.
So when you look into the bone, every bone, those of you who eat bone, you will see that when you bite a bone, there's always something in between. That's called bone marrow. All right, I said bone marrow. But the one with the rib is special. All right, read it from the top again.
The recent discovery of stem cells in bone marrow and their therapeutic application in stem cells, regenerative medicine would support the hypothesis that the development of science represents a quite predictable phenomenon proceeding from the potency of Adam's rib.
Proceeding from where?
The potency of Adam's rib.
Proceeding from the potency of it's what you say, potency. Remember that word, potency. Okay, potency of Adam's rib. We called it a phenomenon. All right, a phenomenon. Now, I'm going to touch on the components of those bone marrow that's in the rib. All right, but one thing about stem cells, can you hold this? Pull stem cells definition in Google. I want everybody to understand what stem cells mean, all right? Stem cells, that's the foundation cell for formation of anything in your body, your hair, your eyes, your skin, everything, all right? Stem cells. Okay, that's it right there. All right, stem cells.
Stem cells are cells with the potential to develop into many different types of cells in the body.
It can develop into many different types of cells. Believe it or not, every part of your body is made up of cells. All right? It's made up of different types of cells. Every part of your body. If it's nerve, it's called neurocytes. All right? If it's your brain, also neurocytes. Neurocytes take part in formation of your brain, spinal cord, and your peripheral nerves. All right. If it's immune system, they have so many of them. They have so many kinds of sites. That's what you learn in something called histology, the study of cells and tissue. All right. The study of cells and tissue. Even your skin is made up of cells. Even your immune system is made up of cells. Even your organs, your liver is made up of cells called hepatocytes. Even your kidney, nephrocytes, all right, renal cells. Every part of your body is made up of cells. And cells, they come together and form tissues. Tissues come together and form organs. Organs together forms what? Systems. That's why you have your circulatory system, your peripheral nervous system, your central nervous system, your digestive system, all that stuff. It all starts from stem cells. All of them come from stem cells. And guess what every cell contains? Every cell contains the DNA and RNA, histone, chromatid, all that stuff. All right? All that stuff, nucleoli, mitochondria, all the stuff. You all know what I'm talking about if you did sciences, all right? Your cells contains all this stuff. And that's what forms a full human being. Read that stem cells again.
Stem cells are cells with the potential to develop into many different types of cells in the body.
Go on.
They serve as a repair system for the body.
Mm-hmm.
There are two main types of stem cells.
Go on.
Embryonic stem cells.
Embryonic, that comes from the beginning of the formation from the womb of a woman. Embryonic stem cells. Go on.
And adult stem cells.
Adult stem cells that comes from damages and repairing and all the stuff in your body. All right, so go back to that link. Go back to that link. Remember, embryonic stem cell, that's the beginning of formation of a human being. Now, read that again about the recent discovery.
The recent discovery of stem cells in bone marrow and their therapeutic application in stem cells regenerative medicine would support the hypothesis that the development of science represents a quite predictable phenomenon proceeding from the potency of Adam's rib.
From the potency of Adam's rib. Remember the word potency, read.
Likewise, the biomedical research appears to represent a continuous discovery of historical and prehistorical milestones.
Mm-hmm.
Stem cells represent by far the most recurrent word in all kinds of writings.
In all kinds of writings in the past, like in thousands of years. There's a reason why. There's a reason why. Keep going.
In either scientific papers or mass media communications.
Read.
PubMed data reveal that over the past 10 years, more than 130,000 papers have been published on this topic.
Topic of stem cells. There's a reason why it's been public, because somebody is trying to play God. Somebody is trying to play God. But he tried to clone a human being, couldn't do it. He has to resolve back to embryonic cloning, which is the formation of baby in the womb and all the stuff. To insert in your womb through IVF and all the stuff. All right? Somebody tried to do what God did, they couldn't do it. All right? Keep going.
In English international journals, with about 19,000 appearing just in the last year.
Just in the last year, 19,000. Now, scroll down. Scroll down. I don't need all this Greek mythology. All right, stop. So, read from recently. I know some of us have heard about what's it called? Is it Haley cells, the black woman whose cells is used to treat many things.
These so-called immortal cells were later named HeLa, after the first two letters of Henrietta Lacks' first and last name.
First and last name. Now, I want to say something, because this is the one we know. We know about her. There's so many, and I can't recall how this was revealed, but there are so many of us in our community, especially the blacks. I'm talking about black community, Hispanic, and Native Americans in our community. So many of us, the men, that's being used, ourselves being used for the same thing. For the same thing during the, what's it called again? The medical appetite. I think that's what it's called. Medical apartheid. That one. The man. All right. Even till today, when they do surgery, they cut out some of our parts, it just disappears. You think it's fully disposed? No. Somebody started it up for pathomorphological examination to understand the cells of the black man and the black woman, because the black woman, guess what? She got it from the black man. All right? She got it from the black man. Read what you got again.
These so-called immortal cells were later named HeLa, after the first two letters of Henrietta Lacks' first and last name.
Read.
Since Miss Lacks' untimely death in 1952.
Because she was killed, murdered, untimely death. Go on.
HeLa cells have been a vital tool in biomedical research.
Now, why do you think when they make vaccines, what they always do? They go to Africa. They take it to Africa first. Why do you think they do that? Why do you think when they had the COVID vaccine, who were they trying to pull first to come and have to take the vaccine? The black community. The black community. Why? Because of the genetic power, genetic expressivity traits that we had that came all the way from Jacob, all the way from Adam, and from the Lord himself. There's something about our cell that is so special. That's why there is majority of the kidnappings happens in the black community. They're using us for all these stuffs, experiments. All right? They're using us for experiments. Keep going.
Leading to an increased understanding of the fundamentals of human health and disease.
Human health and disease. When it goes into disease, that's why they did the apartheid that you spoke about. Yeah, apartheid. They had to use us. There's something about that cell that came from Adam. Something about it. All right? Read the other one. What was so special about Henrietta Lacks' cell? Read that part.
What was so special about Henrietta Lacks' cells? The donation of Henrietta Lacks' cells began what was the first, and for many years, the only human cell line able to reproduce indefinitely.
Able to reproduce what?
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely. All right. If you want to get more information, type Henrietta Lacks stem cells. Stem cells. All right. I'm using this because that's the one that's being revealed. All right. Being revealed. Read.
Her cells, known as HeLa cells for Henrietta Lacks, remain a remarkably durable and prolific line of cells.
Phenomenal line of cells, because the other nations, even though they came from Adam, they did not inherit this. They did not inherit this. Read.
Prolific line of cells used in research around the world.
Used in research where?
Around the world.
All over the world. All over the world, because they can get their hands on her cells. All right? That's why they're still trying to use us today for all kinds of experiments. Even with their vaccines, their diseases, all that stuff. All right? So, go back to stem cells. Let's go back to stem cells. Recently,
a new type of stem cells has been identified.
So remember, we read before, he said 19,000 of copies and all the stuff. What are they talking about? Years and generation upon generation in the past, they have been trying to figure us out, to use our cell to be able to reproduce many things, the cure of many diseases that's upon the face of the earth. All right? It just so happens during the medical apartheid is when they come to the fruition of that. Even up till this day. Even up till this day. All right? Keep going.
Recently, a new type of stem cells has been identified.
Read.
Induced pluripotent stem cells.
They induce pluripotent stem cells. Now, what does it mean, pluri? Many, like plural, many, all right? That's why I told you, remember that potency, the word potency, when he spoke of Adam's rib. I said, remember that word, potency. That's what you see in here. He said, where's that again?
The induced pluripotent stem cells.
Pluripotent stem cells. Pluripotent stem cells. Cells that's capable of doing many things. Keep going.
Derived from adult cells.
Adult cells. Adult cells. Keep going.
These cells are of particular interest in that they can help by filling the present gap among the various positions in the ongoing bioethical debate on the research opportunities and clinical uses of stem cells.
And clinical uses of these stem cells. Pluripotent. Say they newly or recently found out about it. Now, let's go more into that. The rib. Next one. Next paragraph.
The rib, in particular, represents an anatomic type of long bone with a wide spongeous component rich in hematopoietic bone marrow.
Hematopoietic bone marrow. That's talking about blood system, all right? In the rib. Go on.
Containing.
What does it contain?
Multipotent.
We're gonna research that. Multipotent. Remember the word potency from the rib of Adam. Multipotent. Go on.
Pluripotent. And unipotent.
And unipotent. What?
Stem cells.
Stem cells from the rib. From the rib. All right? Multipotent, pluripotent, and unipotent. Those three. Go on.
Two-type-potent. So far have not been identified in bone marrow.
So totipotent means total. The total of the unipotent, multipotent, and pluripotent. All right? Go on.
As with the making of new life from Adam's rib.
As of making of what?
New life from Adam's rib.
Read.
New tissues and organs are now being made in both experimental and clinical work by using
hematopoietic
bone marrow from cell cultures.
From cell cultures. What cells do they culture? Those stem cells from the rib. They are doing researches and finding all this stuff out. That's why the Lord took the rib of Adam, because, like he just read, new tissues and organs are now being made. So the tissues and organ All right? Remember, the skin is also a skin tissue. The organs and every other fiber connective tissues in your body that the woman has was made from the rib of Adam, from the stem cells of Adam. That's what they are finding out now. All right?
Given this creation of new tissues and organs via hematopoietic bone marrow,
These are the bone marrows in the rib. Go on.
the question arises about the implication of these observations for science.
Read.
Carefully reading Genesis chapter 2,
Huh?
one is impressed by the fact that man and woman originated via two different modalities.
Modalities. Two different modalities. Man came from a different modality from the dust of the ground that has all the elements that we read before. All the elements, all right? That's where Adam came from. And all the elements is in Adam's tissues and system and his rib, his bone marrow, all right? Go on, read it.
Man, from the dust of the ground,
Go on.
God breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
Which is the spirits of God. Go on.
And man became a living soul.
Now he became a living soul, a different man, all right? A God, a spiritual man. That's what happened with Adam here, all right? Just like it happened with the apostles we read in John chapter 20. All right, keep going.
Genesis chapter 2 verse 7.
Read.
Woman, from the rib taken from man.
See that? The woman, because remember what the word woman means, taken from the man. Woman from the rib, taken from man. Go on.
From man, Adam, while he was sleeping.
While he was in deep sleep, God took that rib and closed up the skin. So guess what happened to that rib? That rib that he took regrew itself. That's what we read in the first article, that the rib has a phenomenal or unexplainable growth or regenerative strength than any other bone. Other bones are limited, but not the rib. So also is the cartilages around the rib. So also is the stem cells. All right? Next paragraph.
The analogy between Adam's sleep and anesthesia as a surgical procedures for bone marrow transplantation is striking.
Is striking. Is striking. Go on.
Also striking is that two events, the origin of man and of woman, are not comparable.
You can't compare both. You cannot compare both. Women, stop comparing yourself to the man. Stop. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. You're not of the same. You're not the same strength. Even the weakest man amongst us, you are not the same. Keep going.
Adam's origin is not discussed as at present, as nowadays.
Go on.
It seems to belong to the sphere of divinity.
It seems to belong to the sphere, realm of divinity. Realm of divinity. Realm of divinity. They cannot comprehend that. Go on.
And as such is inaccessible.
It's inaccessible. Go on.
To scientific knowledge.
Scientific knowledge cannot break that down. Cannot understand that, what the components of the man's rib from Adam, that trait in Adam's cell or stem cells in the rib. Go on.
Whereas woman's origin is a suitable subject for science.
Say that, but the woman's origin is easy for scientific breakdown. It's easy, but the man's is hard. Now, what does that tell me? That's why they make use of Henrietta Lacks cells, because that's the woman. That's easier for them. It doesn't give them trouble like the man, the black man. Do y'all understand? I hope you'll understand that. All right, keep going.
The recent discovery or rediscovery
go on,
of stem cells in bone marrow and their application in regenerative medicine.
Regenerative medicine meaning rebuild, okay, regrow of any part of the body, the bone all the organs. Go on.
would seem to support the hypothesis that the development of science could be predicted from the story of Adam's rib.
Go on.
Surprisingly, the progress of science, in turn, may lead us to look again into the narrative of our evolutionary ancestry.
Oh, see that? He says surprisingly. You would think, but he said the progress of science, in turn, may lead us, the scientists, to look again into the narrative of our evolutionary ancestry. We don't have the same ancestry. We don't. You don't have the trait that we have from Adam. But from Adam rib, we have the pluripotent cells, which is the one that was newly discovered, the multipotent cells, and the unipotent cells. All right? And that's what was used to make the woman. So, black woman, before you run your mouth about how beautiful you look and being a God, which you're not, or all the stuff about you that's specific or exclusive, all right, or unique compared to other women, because we know, we're not doubting that. The black woman, even in a woman form, terrestrial form, even in a sinful form, is still the most beautiful. But y'all need to know that and stop wearing wig or coloring your hair or hiding your natural hair with a horse hair or Edomite hair, white woman hair, or Indian woman hair. You are made from divinity, from Adam. You need to understand that. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13 verse 3 spoke about that. Yeah, the order of beauty made you from the man. All right, so pull what you have about pluripotent cells. Okay, let's start with multipotent. That's what you have. Let's start from that.
Multipotent stem cells.
Remember, all these are in the rib, are components in the rib. DNA, because all this says composes of what? DNAs and RNAs. All right? And in DNAs and RNAs are all the stuff inside. Nucleus, all the stuff, in every cell has a nucleus and all the nucleoli, what they call it, DNA, RNAs, and all the stuff. There's chromosomes also. All right, and that we're gonna touch on that, the X chromosome and the Y chromosome, which is also started from Adam. All right, read this.
Multipotent stem cells have the ability to differentiate into all cell types with one particular lineage. Keep going. There are plentiful advantages and usage for multipotent stem cells.
Go on.
Multipotent stem cells act as a significant key in procedure of development.
In every procedure of development in a human body. So when God created Eve to develop Eve, he used the multipotent stem cell from Adam's rib. He took that, which Adam already gained from the ground, from the dust of the ground. So the Lord took that and used that to do what? To develop Eve. Go on.
Tissue repair.
So repairing of every tissue in Eve, in the woman, is from that cell. Go on.
And protection.
And the protection. Protection goes into your immune system that protects you. All right? That is all from him. So the woman, all the components that you have till this day was given to you by the man. God took it from the man to make you.
What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
With the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
Pluripotent cells?
Pluripotent. of an immature or stem cell,
Read.
capable of giving rise to several different cell types.
Different cell types. Scroll down, scroll down.
The pluripotency of biological compounds describes the ability of certain substances to produce several distinct biological responses.
Okay, jump down to one of pluripotent cell.
One type of pluripotent cell, called
Hematopoietic stem cell. Go on, go on.
can differentiate into a large variety of cells
Go on.
with different functions.
With different functions. Go on.
This stem cell can produce red blood cells.
So the blood that the woman has is from that. From Adam. Go on. The red blood
Platelets.
cells. Go on. Platelets is what helps you to heal that blood clots that clot up in your skin after you bled. That's platelets. Go on.
Mast cells.
Mast cells is the cell that degranulates to release something called histamine. All right, to fight against allergens, okay? All the stuff. Go on.
Dendritic cells.
Fight against infections. Go on.
Macrophagic.
Macrophages. Go on. Lymphocytes.
Lymphocytes.
So lymphocytes, again, fight against virus. Okay, go on.
Neutrophils.
Neutrophils. Neutrophils fights against germs, bacteria, and all the stuff. Basophils also. And then you have the eosinophils. These basophils is work with what they call the mast cell. I think it comes out of the mast cell or something. And the eosinophil too. Against parasites and I think some type of allergic cell. All right? Read.
Each of these cells have a different function, but they all work together as part of the immune system.
As part of the immune system.
Unipotency. In cell biology, a unipotent cell is the concept that one stem cell has the capacity to differentiate into only one cell type.
One type of cell. So when you have, like, let's say, liver cells, they are called hepatocytes. They can only produce things for the liver or produce the liver. That's it. All right? That's what it's going into. If you have the brain cells, it's only just the brain. All right, keep going.
It is currently unclear if true unipotent stem cells exist.
It does. It does exist. Go on.
Hepatoblast.
That will tell you the truth and then confuse you and then go back to the truth. You can make this stuff up. Go on.
Hepatoblast.
Hepatoblast. Hepato means liver. Blast means stem cells of the liver. Go on.
Which differentiate into
Hepatocytes.
hepatocytes,
So hepatocytes is the matured form of hepatoblast. Go on.
which constitutes most of the liver.
See that? They constitute most of the liver. They form the liver. They're not most. They form the liver. All right? So Adam had all of these in him. Then go to totipotent. Totipotent, that's a combination. That's in the formation. That goes into the formation in the womb. In the womb. So what is this showing? We are just showing you in depth of how God made Eve from Adam. So everything that the woman consists today came from the man. All right? The Lord made that from the man. But still, they are not of the same level. I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna find them. Y'all will see that.
Totipotent stem cells are embryonic stem cells.
That's in the formation in the womb, because the multipotent, pluripotent, and the unipotent cells combine together, which is from the man, then from the woman. Because remember, the woman got it in the beginning from the man. So the woman now have the same thing that the man have all his stuff from the man. She got all his stuff, red blood cell, white blood cell, the hair, the skin, all the stuff from that rib from Adam. All right? But a combination of the one from the man, which is contained in the sperm of the man, and in the in the ovum or the egg of the woman, together they will form this totipotent. All right? Read.
Totipotent stem cells are embryonic stem cells that are present during the first few cell divisions post-fertilization.
After the fertilization of the between the egg and the sperm in the woman's what they call it again, the uterine tube, because now we will go all the way from the tube into the uterus or the womb, and they will implant over there. All right, go on.
And can form any of the different types of cells in the
It
body.
can form any, because that's a complete one. All right, the complete that the woman got it from the man, and then the man sperm will bring all of it to the woman ovum, and then they will form this. All right, that's how it's done today. Instead of the Lord creating human being, trying to put us men in the sleep today to take the rib, no, he put all the stuff in the man's sperm. All of that DNA, protein, RNA, protein that will form all that cells, the Lord made it small and put it in man's sperm so that it can go into the woman again and create life. Create life. Just like you take a seed and then you have to do what? Plant it on the ground or on earth to form a tree or fruit, to bear fruit, or a tree that will grow to bear fruit and what they call fresh leaves. So also will a man plant his seed in a woman. Why do you think they use this word today called Mother Earth? Why do you think they use that term? Or you go to Galatians chapter 4 verse 26. Go to that. Galatians chapter 4 verse 26 about Jerusalem.
Galatians chapter 4 and verse 20.
That is parallel to each other. The woman and the land or the earth is parallel. The woman, I'm going to make it simple. A woman is a walking or human form of earth. Meaning earth where you plant a seed so that it will grow. That's why in Numbers chapter 1 verse 18, he told you, according to the house of the father, the seed is counted from the house of the father, not the woman. Satan said is the woman. No. Amalek, the so-called Jewish man, said is from the woman. No, that's not what God said. The woman does not plant the seed. He does not plant the life that grows. The man gets back what he plants into a woman. That's why today they call earth Mother Earth or something, however they say, because it's similar. The woman is similar to earth. Just like you plant a seed on earth to grow a tree and bear fruit, so does a man plant sperm, I'm going to make it plain, in a woman to do what? Bear fruit of the womb, which is baby, and then there will come forth out of the woman, just like that sprout out of the earth and grow when you plant a seed on earth. Give me that, Galatians 4.
Galatians chapter 4 verse 26.
Read.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Mother. It didn't say father, but he said mother. We all came from Jerusalem. All of us. The 12 tribe, we came from Jerusalem. You can read about that also in 2 Ezra chapter 9 when he spoke about, I'm not going to go into that, the woman that was mourning for his lost kids or children. All right? That ties back into earth, Jerusalem. Earth, all right? I hope that makes sense. All right. So now, going back to what we were talking about, the woman, every component of the woman came from the man. That's why the woman is a weaker vessel. The components of the man was from the dust of the earth. But the man, dust of the earth, but have the breath of life from the Lord. So the woman came from man, the man came from the Lord, because that's what they've made man in God's image. All right? So let's pull this up, National Library of Medicine. So you will see the difference when it comes to male and female blood components. Because remember, the red blood cells is where you have your hemoglobin that transports oxygen all over your body for energy production, for energy strength production, all right? So we're going to see the comparison between the man and the woman. This is just proving what we've been going through and how the woman came out of the man even till today, whether you believe it or not. All right, blood components. Blood component. It says, so you look on the left side, it said white blood cells. White blood cells goes into your immune system, all right? It gives you the reference range, the range that man or woman has, right? Now you look at the red blood cells. You see it has asterisks. These are the bloods that carry strength, energy. We can call it power and other stuff. Red blood cell, all right? So red blood cells, it said RBC. Male, it said 4.9 to 5.9 million per millimeter, whatever that 3 is. He said 4. So he might, I swear, just say 4.3 million or something like that to 5.9. But look at the female, it says 3.5 to 5.5, meaning what? The female has a lesser red blood cell, meaning lesser power, lesser strength, and all that stuff, all right? Lesser. The Lord had to take what is in the man to make the female. Hemoglobin, all right? That's the next one. Male, 13.5 to 17.5. The female is 12.0 to 16.0. See that? Lesser again. Hematocrits, all these are components of the blood. All right? Male, 41% to 53%. Female is 36%. All right? So even when the scripture tells you that the woman is a weaker vessel, it's not just only in spiritual sense, but also in the physical sense. Also in the physical sense. And sisters, there's nothing wrong about it. That's how God made you. You have to love it and respect it because God gave that to you. Stop trying to measure yourself. You have this boxer, what's her name? Clarissa Shields, talking about he want to box men. And then she got her behind whooped in the gym the other day. Why are you trying to compare yourself to men? Because Satan is in your ear. Satan is whispering in your ear. That's what it is. Okay? And you're on the side of Satan. Because I always say this. I might be wrong, but I always say this. Every black woman is married before being married to a black man. What am I talking about? Going back all the way to the garden. That's feminism. That feminism, that voice of Satan in their head. That's why they can easily, automatically, without the white man raising voice, they will bow down and honor and respect the white man. But when they see the black man, the N-words start coming out quickly. And even when you are married to a black woman, it's always a fight at home. Why? Because she has been married to somebody else spiritually before you. And she is not trying to give up that spiritual, demonic husband that she has. She will listen to that before listening to you. That's why they pile up in the Christian church, because that's the den, or that's the coven. That's the coven where they hear the voice of their husband, Satan. That's why they pile up there. That's where they get the strength, the false strength that they think they have. Even so many of the women in the church today, disturbing their husband, giving them stress. Guess what? Satan is your husband. The white man is your husband. That's why. You have not humbled yourself. Learn the scripture. Understand who you are and your role and embrace it. You love that white Jesus and his doctrine so much. I remember a brother told me one time that before he marries a woman, that woman must hate and denounce white Jesus with all her might and strength. Yes. If they cannot denounce and hate white Jesus, trust me, you in trouble. Even if they're in this truth for 50 years, it doesn't matter. They may not say it, but you will see it in their actions. Actions speak louder than words. They still behave just like their sisters that's out there in love and hip hop. That's what we just read in Ecclesiastes. Give me that. Go back to that. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, 27 to 28. Y'all need to humble yourself, black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American woman, and listen to the word of God. Listen to your husband. He's your God at home. We're going to go into all that. Read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 27. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher.
Said what?
The preacher.
Said the prophets. Go on.
Counting one by one to find,
looking into all the women of each generation. Go on.
to find out the account,
Find out this. This is what I found out. Go on.
which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not.
Uh-huh.
1 man among 1,000 have I found.
He said, out of 1,000 men, he has found that one righteous, virtuous man who was willing to subdue himself under the Lord. Go on.
But a woman,
But who?
a woman
But a woman
among all those.
among 1,000 have I not found. Wouldn't that be a challenge? Would that make you, the black woman in this truth, to be like, you know what? I'm going to be that woman. I'm going to be that woman. Let me apply the scriptures so that I will be that unique woman. Because it's hard to find a virtuous woman. That's how you get your glory. By subjecting yourself to the laws of God and faith in Christ. And that starts from honoring your husband and reverencing your husband at home. If you're not doing that, you cannot. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. All right? You cannot. So, that's, well, you can take that down. So, y'all see that? That's how God made Eve. Until today. Now, we're going to talk about X and Y chromosome, because the X and Y chromosome together forms the man. That's what forms a male child. All right? So, if God took the cells of Adam and formed Eve, made a duplicate, formed another being, totally different in gender, but have the traits of that man. So that means, apart from those pluripotent, multipotent, unipotent cells, the woman also have the chromosome, the sex chromosome. The man has, remember, X and Y. So, the woman has what? The double X chromosome. Where did that come from? From Adam, from that rib. From that rib. That's where the X chromosome comes from. All right? Type that, X chromosome, on Google. X chromosome. It carries genetic traits and all that stuff. All right? God gave the woman only that X that Adam had. Didn't give the woman the Y. Because the Y is a special one for the man. All right? Type X chromosome. All right? All right, read that.
X chromosome. The X chromosome is one of the 2 sex chromosomes that are involved in sex determination.
Sex determination. So, with the man having the XY and the woman having the XS, which came from the man's X and duplicated, together, the X from the man and the woman forms what? Forms that woman. Forms a woman, and the X and the Y forms a man, all right? Go on, because remember, like you plant a seed in the earth, it has to absorb everything, the nutrients, the components, the elements of that earth to break out and grow. So also the sperm of the man will do the same in the woman. Take all the elements and the nutrients that the woman has that she got from the beginning through Eve, that Eve got from Adam to develop a baby. So what the woman has is because of the man. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. We just read all about it. If you don't understand it, give it time. You're going to understand it down the road. All right, but don't be rebellious. Do not be rebellious. All right, go on.
Humans and most other mammals have 2 sex chromosomes.
Go on.
X and Y.
Go on.
That in combination determine the sex of an individual.
Go on.
Females have 2 X chromosomes in their cells.
Go on.
While males have 1 X and 1 Y.
See that now. Move to the right side. I want to see that picture. That picture on the right side. No, the picture on the right side. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. So you see that? That's an M. What you see on the side is gene from. That's the chromosomes 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 23rd. All right. These are the stuff that they use to determine, to do all those genetic stuff where they find out who's the father and the mother. All right. That's what they use. The X chromosome and the Y chromosome is a sex chromosome. All right. So that's the X on your left. That's the Y. Adam had both, and the woman got it from Adam. All right. The Lord didn't give the woman Adam because, the Lord didn't give the woman the Y. They are not the same level. They not the same level and cannot be in the same level. All right? So now type Y chromosome. Remove the X, type the Y. Y chromosome. Let's see what he said. Read.
The Y chromosome is one of the 2 sex chromosomes in humans.
Mm-hmm.
The other is the X chromosome.
Read.
The sex chromosomes form one of the 23 pairs of human chromosomes in each cell.
So in each cell, remember, the cells that Eve had came from Adam. The cell that the woman comes from the man. Go on.
The Y chromosome spans more than 59 million building blocks of DNA base pairs and represents almost 2% of the total DNA in cells.
Because X chromosome have more. But that 2% is peculiar for the man, all right? Go into Wikipedia. Go into Wikipedia. We're going to touch a little bit on this Y chromosome. Because in every cell you have the RNA DNA, then you have the mitochondrial DNA too. All right? All right. The Y chromosome, read that.
The Y chromosome is one of the 2 sex chromosomes in mammals and other organisms.
Read.
Along with the X chromosome, it is part of the XY sex determination
So
system.
XY determination system is what every male on earth has. Every male. Guess who else has it? Christ himself has the XY. Adam has the XY. Put 2 and 2 together, all right? You're going to understand. Keep going.
In which the Y is a sex determination.
Say what?
In which the Y is the sex determination.
Sex determining, all right? Sex determining, because it is the presence or absence of Y chromosome that determines the male or female sex of offspring produced in sexual reproduction. What does that tell you? The Y chromosome is what God uses to determine if you're going to have a male child or a female child. So guess what? When God creates the child in the womb, if he takes the man's Y chromosome, just like he uses the man's rib to create another being in Genesis 2, if he takes the Y and put it on the woman with the X, it forms a male. But if the Lord take away the Y, it forms what? The female. So guess what? The determination of sex of a baby, the power of it terrestrially in any human body is still in the man, not in the woman. The woman is just there to do what? To grow what has been planted in her from the man. I hope you'll understand. You are not a god, neither are you a goddess. You'll need to understand that. Stop allowing lies of Satan, feminism, stop allowing that to deceive you. All right? In mammals.
In mammals, the Y chromosome contains the SRY gene.
That's the SRY gene, all right? Sexual reproductive Y gene. That's what the Y chromosome contains. SRY gene, go on.
Which triggers development of male gonads.
So that triggers, that's right in the Y chromosome, that's what triggers the development of male gonads. That goes into the testicles, the reproductive system of the man down there, all the stuff. The testosterone, which is what helps to make men sound manly in their voice, look manly in their build, walk manly, be like a god. Because a god doesn't walk like a woman. All right, that's X chromosome. God doesn't walk around like a woman with a hand hanging like this, like a woman does. No. No. Y chromosome, man, you are the gods on the earth. You have to behave and walk like a man, like a god that you are on earth. The Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. That's what your Y chromosome comes from. Does the other nation have Y chromosome? Of course they do. But we're not talking about them right now. All right, because from them came their own women. Their own women. That's why we should not be marrying into these other women, into the other nation. The black woman is supposed to marry the black man. The black man is supposed to marry the black woman. Because you are marrying what came out of you. What God made from you for you. God is dealing, you're supposed to be dealing with what God made from you. Just like Christ is dealing with what was made from him, which is the man, the black man, the Adam. Us today. You going out to marry a white woman as a black man, Chinese woman, you are mixing up and causing confusion. The white woman is not made from out of you. The Chinese woman is not made from you. The Japanese woman is not made from you. The Ishmaelite woman is not made from you. Only the black woman. When I say black woman, I mean the Israelite woman. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they were made and are made from you. That's why the Lord compelled us to marry them. Marry your own people. So you don't mix up seed. Because that terrestrial, powerful seed that Adam has, that was passed to Adam, from Adam to us, makes you think what kind of woman Eve was. What she looks like. If Adam has all these elements in him, all this power in his DNA, all this strength in him, all this godliness in him, that means Eve gotta be a 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10, I would say. You cannot compare, but guess what? She allowed Satan to be in her ear, just like many of our women do today.
What is nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.